What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar, breaking down the futures contract per usual. What a grind up today has been. Very difficult early on, but overall, bulls win the day. We continue to one time frame up on the daily. We continue to one time frame up on the weekly. In yesterday's video, I was talking about how it was a potential balance because we took out a previous day's low, but we ended up with an outside day up, and that paid out pretty positively today. We continue to one time frame up, but we went from hold on, let me get rid of this crap real quick. For some reason, my fixed thing has not been working. Okay, I did not hit save. That's cool. Bear with me real quick as I do all these without making any cuts within the video. So there we go. All right, cool. So the daily continues to push up. We had an inside day, failed at an inside day down, ended up with an outside day up yesterday. So we went from bull to balance to bull, I guess, and then continue to stay bullish with the one-time framing. We continue to grind up. We should, Jesus Christ, get it together, target the 6,000 level at some point in the future, which would be our monthly balance high as of right now. It could increase. We could continue to create this balance, but initially that is where I have it set because I'm not sure if we'll get to and through that 6,000 level on the upside. Today was a very difficult day for me to trade. Did not trust myself early on. Got caught in a couple. I didn't trade A period at all, as it was just chopping around a lot. B period opened up, did some weird crap on the number, pulled all the way back down, ended up one time framing up, which then got stopped in C period when we took out the initial balance low, pushed down near the overnight low, but never did take it out. And I should have trusted myself. I said in yesterday's video that the 59.30 was a key level to hold above. And then today we pulled back into that area, and I thought, looking at these highs here, right, where we kind of struggled around that 22 level, essentially M's range. If we never took out M's low, I think being a buyer was very, very good. But instead, I let just mixed market generated information kind of dwindle my ideas, and we ended up kind of just rotating back up and then one time framing up for 4 hours after we started an E period. We end up with, like I said, double distribution day, overlapping the higher value, and just an absolute grind to the upside. I did at one point, I was only down like $70 on the day, which I should have just stepped away at that point. And then, just kind of kept chopping back and forth for a couple of points here and there. And today was just one of those days where you just, no matter how good you see it, you just can't catch a break. There were no real pullbacks in order for you to get put in this market. Buying at higher highs seemed to be the move, because each high that you bought at some point you got paid, which is a dangerous game to play. Buying on pullbacks is definitely the way to go. And then today we just really didn't get enough of a pullback for me to be long. So I put myself into some trouble thinking that we would at some point pull back, create a wider point of control. In I period, I shorted. It never pushed or never rolled over, and then just continued to grind up to the upside, which caused me to be down about $155 on the day. Overall, we close up on the week about 171. So first green week in a while. Not a lot on the board, but we are trying to grind back from some losses we've taken over the last couple of weeks, and just trying to keep the mental strong and positive. So what do we look for come Monday? Well, come Monday, seeing how our set of single prints literally begin around the 59.50 level, the lower portion of the upper distribution begin around that level. It is going to be imperative if we open up in the upper distribution, we may experience some type of chop because it is about a 22-point range in that area. So if we open up in the upper distribution, we will open up with value basically unchanged, most likely. And then you look for 59.50 to hold essentially. If you do not hold 59.50, then you get into the lower distribution, which begins around 59.48. And from there, your destination becomes 59.20s, right? So bulls want to hold above 59.50 and keep on grinding up towards the upside. At some point, we should target that 59.97 day, 59.97 high of day from the third. All right. If we get that, your next destination is 6,725, which was the monthly high, right? No, not the monthly high. This was the monthly high. 59.97 was the monthly high. So if we get that, the monthly we'll have taken out another monthly high, and then we begin to eat into the month of February, which its monthly high is way up here at 51.6650. So it has been a pretty solid grind to the upside. Very impressive. No real pullback yet. I think it's going to have to happen at some point on the daily. We're going to have to get some type of consolidation, but we just haven't seen it yet. We continue to stop out the larger time frame, which is the monthly time frame. Anybody that was a seller at around the 6,000 level may be getting nervous and taking a little bit of profits off the table. If they haven't already, whenever we stopped one time framing down, they might be taking off more if they were swing trade short. So, like I said, moving forward into Monday of next week, you want to hold 59.50. If you do not hold 59.50, you will flush down toward 59.20. If you do not hold 59.20, then you would most likely flush down towards the 58.80s. Okay. But so far, any pullback has been a buy. Pretty much any pullback has been a buy. Also, ended up getting myself in trouble in M&Q on a whole nother topic, which would have ended up paying had I just stayed within the trade. I really wasn't out much. I only lost $30 on the trade, but I took a one lot M&Q in I period because I thought they had a pretty good chance of going and getting their overnight high, which was around 55 or 21,505. They ended up getting it late in the day, and then I was targeting their high from yesterday. They go out with an inside day, so like we had back on Tuesday, inside day. We look for the same thing come Monday for NQ. You look for the inside day up to come out, take this 55 or 21,530 area out and look for continuation to the upside. They're pretty much closing in on their all-time highs. But I took the long above A's high at 50, or why do I keep saying 50? At 21,471 was exactly my long area. I got into a little bit of profit and we came back in and they stopped me out by about 10 points and then ended up rotating back up to get the overnight high. So that was my trade idea, and it just ended up not working out. But that's okay. You win some, you lose some. Today, some trade ideas that I had just did not work. They just did not work. Shorts in C period, I tried. They didn't work. Longs in C against the one time framing up did not work. Caught a couple of longs, but I just did not feel comfortable buying at highs, so never really did get paid much. The only long I really got paid on was to get the overnight high in F period. That paid. Other than that, I did not get involved on longs. I should have just took a position and held. Seems to be kind of the way to go, is just kind of get into a position. Once you start one time framing up, set your stop below the low of day and just kind of let the market do its thing, especially when it's just going to the top right. So we might try that one day. We might just get into a long position once things kind of start checking off into the bulls and put our stop below the low of the day and see how much profit we can get. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a wonderful day, great weekend, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.